Hi friends! If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Liz, aka Knife Girl. If you've been here before, then welcome back. We're happy to have you. In one of my previous videos, I declared summer 2023 to be the summer of sun hats. And that's kind of been a little bit of a hyperfixation of mine. I have been kind of obsessed with sun hats lately, and there was one brand in particular that was really interesting me. They're kind of a trendy brand at this moment, and they're called Baggu. So first of all, this video isn't sponsored, but I was curious about their sun hats because I am, obviously obsessed with sun hats this summer. I want to keep the sun away from me. So because I was curious about them, I actually ordered a couple of their sun hats. They have two different kinds, and I thought for this video I would do a little review on them, as well as kind of talking about some other hats that I have that I like in case you are looking for a sun hat for some adventures this summer, for hikes or theme parks or beach days or whatever. It's the summer of sun hats, and that's what's on my mind right now, so I thought that's what I would make a video about. So if you want to see a review on these two Baggu sun hats as well as some others, then please keep on watching. Alright, so again, this video is not sponsored. Everything that I'm showing here I have bought with my own money just because I was curious about them and I wanted to try them out. And so I thought I would let you know what I thought about them. Yesterday was a sunny day, so I basically took all my hats and took them outside and just kind of tested them to see exactly how they work in the sunshine. So you'll probably see a little bit of footage intercut here and there from those. So the two hats I was mainly interested in doing a review on in this video were the Baggu Soft Sun Hat and the Baggu Packable Sun Hat. And these are both very different but interesting and unique in their own ways. So I guess let me just go one by one and I'll kind of tell you what I thought about it. So I guess the first one that I wanted to talk about was this one, which is the Baggu Soft Sun Hat. So obviously this one is a little floppy. It doesn't have a ton of structure, but it's got a pretty wide brim. Probably like, I don't know, maybe I can look up on the website exactly the specs of this hat, but it's just, it's just a cute little sun hat. I've kind of found that I give myself a little bit more structure if I kind of flip the front up like that, and it's pretty cute when I do that. But you can also just, wear it kind of like a regular bucket hat, and it obviously has these ties on the bottom so that if it's very windy, you can secure it to your head. So I do think this one is very cute. However, my boyfriend said when I was kind of, putzing around, he said this one kind of looked a little bit like, a colonial bonnet. And I can't say I disagree with that. Maybe it's just the color choice that I picked. I picked this blue pixel option just because I thought it was really cute. But honestly, I think this is cute. It's very functional because it's soft. It's very foldable and packable, so you could fold this up very easy and throw it in a bag, throw it in your beach bag and take it to go. Overall, I think this is a really solid option if you are looking for a sun hat. My biggest issue is that it's a little small. It does fit me. Like, it fits on my head. I have a pretty big head. The measurements of my head exactly are like 23.5 or maybe a little bit bigger, which is pretty much right at the max of most hats. So this one does fit on my honkin' big head, but it is a little tight. It's not so tight as to like give me a headache or anything. Also, the crown part is a little kind of weirdly shallow, which is strange because in most hats I prefer kind of a more shallow crown, but just I don't know why this one just feels a little extra weird. But I don't know. Overall, it's cute. It works. It's very nice. The regular price is $35. I guess I would consider it to be worth that price just because it's kind of a trendier brand, and I'm not really seeing any other companies making one just like this. So if this is something that you like and think is cute, then I would suggest buying it. I think it's very functional, and probably maybe of both of these Baggu hats, this one might be my favorite just because I think it's a little bit more wearable, and I'll kind of show you why. When I try this one on, you'll kind of see why. Maybe this one is just a little bit more low-key, like a little bit easier to style, and a little bit just kind of generally more wearable. Honestly, this kind of reminds me of like a rain hat in like old-timey movies when people would wear like full raincoats and rain hats. The shape of this kind of reminds me of that, which is fine. I guess overall it's a fine hat. It's fine to just toss in your bag and have. But I don't know if this is the one I would pick for kind of more everyday use, but it's good. The other Baggu hat is their Packable Sun Hat. And this one you may have seen on Instagram. It is kind of trendy, but I also think it is a little bit hard to wear and hard to style just because of how big it is and the way that it's kind of shaped and the way that it kind of sits on your head. It's just so wide. Which functionally, if you don't really care about aesthetics so much and your main goal is to just keep the sun off of you, which is a big goal for me, this might be ideal. This might be exactly what you want. I tested it outside, and the brim it's kind of thin cottony material, but it is still like pretty opaque, so I wasn't really worried at all about sun coming through and giving me like burn through the hat. Actually, what I was going to say was the soft sun hat, maybe just because, you know, this is like the lightest color hat that I tried on of all the ones that I tried on in this video. I did notice with this one here there was some sun kind of peeking through, but I don't think it would be enough for me to get a burn, and I'm pretty sensitive, so I think with all the hats that I tried today, I'm pretty satisfied with their actual ability to block sunlight. So a lot of my qualms, especially maybe with this one, is kind of more the aesthetics of it, and this one as well. But again, if you're just looking for something functional, then honestly you can't really go wrong with either of these. This one was also $36, but it's like if you wanted a hat for gardening or maybe for the beach or a hike and you just want to keep the absolute maximum amount of sunlight off of you, this one would probably be great for you just because it's so wide. Like, I don't know if the camera does it justice. Maybe I can pull some pictures from their Instagram, but it's just so very wide. But again, that might be what you want. You might want to just keep, you know, basically this is a small umbrella almost. It's very cottony, and honestly for someone with a big head, this is very comfortable on me. The way that the crown fits on my head is just perfect. It's not too deep, it's not too shallow, it doesn't constrict my head. The material is really soft, so it's very flexible and it's got, you know, a lot of stretch to it, and I very much appreciate that. This one, yeah, it's just hugely comfortable to wear. Again, this one has the ties so that you can secure it if there's a lot of wind or something, you're on the beach, which I have done, not with this hat in particular, but, you know, wearing sun hats on windy days, sometimes you just gotta cinch them right up so they don't blow off. It's very clutch. But I don't know, I feel like you have to have a certain amount of confidence to rock a hat quite this bold, which I don't know if I necessarily always do. Sometimes I do, and sometimes like I don't care how I look, and sometimes I'm not trying to be cute and I just want function over fashion, and this will definitely deliver that for sure. I also do really appreciate how portable this one is, because this one folds up pretty small. Honestly, all of these hats that I was going to talk about in this video, they're all pretty portable. Like, they're all pretty easily stashed in a bag or clipped to the outside of a bag. My most recent trip, I went to Vegas to visit my family, and I used one of my sun hats, and I literally just clipped it with a carabiner onto the outside of my travel backpack, and it was great. This one definitely does get points for how portable it is, just because it folds down so small, but it opens up to be so big, and it's kind of a very lightweight, very breathable cotton material. So I think for that reason, I do like this hat. My biggest issue with this one is how kind of a bold silhouette it is and how hard I feel like it might be to style in certain situations. So I guess take that into consideration. Like, if you think you can rock this, I say go for it, because it is very comfortable, it's very functional, and for all the functional reasons, I genuinely really like it. It's mostly just aesthetics that kind of give me pause a little bit. It's not going to stop me from wearing this hat, because I'm definitely going to wear this hat on hot days, but you know, in certain situations, maybe this isn't going to be the one that I pull. And this one too, like, this one's very cute. It does look a little bit babyish, I don't know. So I don't know if I would necessarily pull either of these, depending on, you know, the style situation of the day. So I guess just keep that in mind. What I did when I was kind of searching around is I just looked on Instagram and tried to find pictures of other people wearing these hats and, like, you know, seeing how they styled them and everything to kind of get ideas of how it might work for me. And so, you know, maybe if you do something like that, it can give you a better idea of whether or not you think these hats might work for you. So I got both of these hats from Baggu's website. They were both $36 each, but I was able to use Afterpay. So if that's something that's important to you, you do have that as an option. In case you are kind of looking for something a little different, I thought I might also show you some other hats that I got that I enjoy, just so you can maybe see some different options. So the first one, this one I showed in one of my previous videos. This was actually from Daiso. Daiso, I think, does have an online store, but some of the things that they have in there are kind of hit and miss based on what else they have in their, like, brick and mortar stores. So I'm not sure if you would be able to find this on their online store if you do have a Daiso that's, like, close to you. I know there's a lot in California, and I think in some other states they're popping up more and more. I think in Vegas just got a couple. I think in Texas somewhere there's a couple Daisos, and they're kind of, you know, here and there. So if you do have one close to you and you're looking for a sun hat, I would definitely consider checking it out. This one I like because it's cute. I actually added the ribbon myself and the ribbon strap, just because it didn't come with anything to kind of secure it on your head on a windy day, and I kind of rely on that. So it was just, you know, this striped material without the ribbon. So basically I just added the ribbon for a strap, and then I thought it would also be cute as like a little hat band accent. But this one I like because it's very comfortable, very floppy, but it still gives me like a very good, you know, radius of protection. It's very comfortable even on my big head. This one and both of the Baggu hats, neither of them have a ponytail hole like some of these other hats do. Some of these others do have a ponytail hole, which that might be something to consider. I didn't consider the lack of a ponytail hole to be too big of an issue with these, just because both of these are a little more shallow on your head. Kind of one of my issues with like regular bucket hats is that they usually sit so low on your head that if you do have a ponytail, like, it gets in the way, or you can't wear a ponytail, or you have to, you know, like, have it super low, and it just doesn't fit. But these are both kind of shallow enough where you could still have like a decent ponytail and not have to worry about it getting in the way. But some of these other, basically all these other hats have a built-in ponytail hole. So if you do have longer hair, as I mentioned in a previous video, when the weather is really hot, I hate having my hair on my neck. So something like this, it's just so much nicer to have that option to be able to just pull it up and have it off your neck and out of the way, and then you get, you know, breeze and you're feeling as cool as possible. These two are actually the same hat. It's by the brand Solaris. You can see right there. I actually bought this one first, the khaki, and I liked it so much that I just got another color. So these might be my favorite of the whole bunch. I just really liked the way that they fit. Again, I have a bigger head, and these are like pretty shallow, so they still, you know, they don't hang down too low over my ears or anything, and they're wide enough to fit my big head comfortably. They have the strap, they have the ponytail hole, and they have this nice brim with a lot of structure, pretty wide radius. So these, I think, are really, really great options, and they weren't that expensive. I want to say maybe between 15 and 20, which is honestly a pretty good price. The only thing that I just wasn't super thrilled about this, you know, these hats, was that they only offered these kind of sporty industrial type colors like khaki and army green and black and brown. They didn't offer any cuter colors. So if they, you know, came out with this hat in like a more bright rainbowy type color, not even a rainbow, but just a bright, cuter, more feminine color, then I would be all over it, and this would be the single only hat that I would need. But I just kind of thought, for, you know, certain situations, you want something that's a little less sporty and a little cuter. Just depending on where you're going, you might want something a little cuter. So that's why I looked into these options. These are very similar in construction, but they're different brands, and they look similar, but they're not the same really. This one, I don't know the brand. This one was from Amazon. I'll link everything in this video below in case you are interested in looking up some of these things. This one I just found on Amazon. I really like how it's got a, you know, it's comfortable on my head, and it's got a nice wide brim, and it's a cute color. It's just like this sky blue color. One issue that I had with this one was that the crown was just a little too weirdly deep, like I mentioned before. That kind of bugs me. So I kind of just did a tiny DIY where I stitched the top of the hat to this little elastic strap that they had in there, and it was just a real weird little simple fix, but basically all it did was kind of, it just allows the hat to sit a little bit higher on my head in a little bit more of a comfortable position, and I love it a whole lot better now. And this one, both of these have the snaps on the side where you have the option of wearing it kind of cowboy style if you want. My personal preference is to just keep it down flat, because then you get more sun protection that way. But I don't know if maybe it helps with wind or something, or maybe you want to do that for aesthetics. With these two hats, you do have that option. This one is of these two, this one's definitely my favorite, and this one has some cute colors, but it was still a little limited as to color options. I think you can do a lot of stuff with this cute blue, but I did want to try like a brighter, bolder color, so I did try this one. This one, the brand is Sunshade. This was also from Amazon, but I did find some kind of significant issues with this one when I tried it on for the first time. The first issue being, this one has a much tighter crown. Like, I think this one is actually intended to fit like a 22-inch head as opposed to a 23, so this one is kind of uncomfortably tight on me. So honestly, for that reason, I don't know if I will actually end up wearing this one a lot. This one was only, I think, like 12 or 11 bucks, so it's not a huge loss, and maybe in some situations I can make it work, but it's just not the most comfortable. But if you have a smaller head, maybe this might be exactly what you want, so I figured I would still talk about it because a lot of people don't have, you know, as big of a head as I do. And this one does have the ponytail hole, and this does have the snaps just like the last one, so if you want to kind of rock it in cowboy mode, you can do that. And it obviously has the strap. So these ones here are all kind of much more like sporty construction. These all have the ponytail holes. These are all kind of more kind of sturdy, athletic-y type fabric as opposed to, you know, more aesthetic type fabric. I think if I were to pick a favorite of all 7 of these, it might be a tie between my striped Daiso hat and these Solaris ones, just out of like comfort and functionality. I think these are all very cute. Overall, I am satisfied with both of the Baggu hats. I think for what they are, they get the job done. They're cute, especially depending on your kind of personal style. Like if you have more of like a cottagecore style, or a ballet core, or more of a kind of soft feminine style, I feel like the Soft Sun Hat by Baggu would probably suit you really well, which I do kind of dress in those styles occasionally. I don't know, I feel like I kind of consider my personal style to be like kindergarten art teacher. Like I want to be comfy but also colorful but also cute, if that makes sense. And obviously also Baggu offers a lot more color variation and kind of cute options than any of these others do. At the end of the day, I'm not dissatisfied at all with either of the Baggu hat. I think for what they are, they work, they're functional, and you know, this one's growing on me. I think this could be a cute look. I guess that's all I have to say on the matter. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found this video somewhat informative. I don't know, this is a little more loosey-goosey in terms of reviews. But if you did enjoy this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. I would love to have you join my community here on YouTube. And with that being said, I'll see you next time. Bye, friends. Stay out of the sun. Get a hat. Be protected. Wear your sunscreen too. Bye, friends.